This is a diagram of the inferior skull from your textbook, and on this part of the skull there are many bone markings, a lot of foramen, which are holes, and a lot of processes that stick out. So I'm going to review the bone markings of the skull with you using a skull model. Here's a view of the inferior skull. I'm going to go over the various bone markings that you can see here. Starting in the front of the hard palate, this is the maxilla bone, and right here we have the incisive foramen. It's located behind the incisors, so this hole is the incisive foramen. This suture here is called the median palatine suture, and this one going horizontally across the hard palate is called the transverse palatine suture. And then you can see there are small holes right here and right here. These are called the greater palatine foramen. So hole here and right here, greater palatine foramen. Then the largest foramen in the bottom of the skull is right here. This is called the foramen magnum. It's found in the occipital bone. These two bone markings on either side of it, these are called occipital condyles. So they provide a smooth surface for the head to turn on. Okay, we have some more foramen that are found in the sphenoid bone. This right here is the foramen ovale, and the small hole right next to it is the foramen spinosum. Same thing on this side, foramen ovale and foramen spinosum is the small hole right behind it. Okay, then right here is the carotid canal. That is another foramen that allows the carotid artery to pass through the base of the skull. And you have the same thing here. This is the carotid canal for the carotid artery. Then if you look here, the jugular foramen is this hole here. And then on this side of the skull, right here, that allows the jugular vein to pass through the inferior skull. And then there are a couple of processes that stick out. These are on the temporal bone. Right here, this sharp pointed process is called the styloid process. You have the same thing on this side of the skull. And then right next to it is the mastoid process. This is actually the bone that you can feel behind your ear that kind of sticks out. This is the mastoid process. So styloid process and mastoid process. There's a small hole in between those two processes right here. This is called the stylomastoid foramen because it's located between the styloid and the mastoid. So stylomastoid foramen. Same thing on this side, the small hole here. And another foramen, this is the last one, this is called the mastoid foramen because it's located right behind the mastoid process, right here. And same thing on this side, right here, is the mastoid foramen, just a small hole.